All right, the sun is setting and I figured this would be a pretty cool spot to do a 2-year review on the Honda XR150L. This is a 2023 model, and I'm actually going to try to make this review very short. But this is a 2023 model. It's the first year that they brought the Honda XR150L to the States. It's been in other markets for quite some time. In my opinion, it's the best one out of Honda's mini moto lineup, simply because I believe that it's very versatile. This bike has a low seat height, which is approachable, but it also has a decent ground clearance, so you can do pretty good off-road. The suspension is not terrible. It does pretty good. I've had no issue with it over the couple years I've had. Of course, you know, if you buy this bike for its intended purpose, which is a list of different things which I'll go over, then it really does shine. The stock tires are smooth enough to ride on the road smoothly, but also to go off-road and do pretty much any of the approachable stuff other than, like, you know, thick mud or very steep climbs, you know, or things like that. But if you're looking for this bike, you're most likely not looking to do the things that it's not capable of. Either you're a beginner and you're looking for something to start on, you are looking to simplify for maybe street bikes or cruisers or whatever, you're looking to do a little trail riding, whatever it is, most likely if this bike is in your decisions, it's going to suit you very well. This was actually my first dual sport motorcycle. My shadow is in the way because the sun is going down. But anyways, this is my first dual sport motorcycle ever. I bought it, like I said, 2 years ago when it came out. I believe this almost might be to the day 2 years ago. I put close to 4,000 miles on it. I do have a Suzuki DR650, which I do my primarily commuting on that. So I do ride that to work and back every day unless it is raining or in the winter when it gets too cold to be bearable. So anyways, but pretty much I would choose this bike any day over my Suzuki DR650 as far as going in back roads, carving up back roads, 45 mile per hour zones and under, trail riding, some technical stuff that's not too heavy or too dense, but the little technical stuff, this bike really shines in that. And this bike has an absolute fun factor that I mentioned before. It's really awesome if you're looking to get your first dual sport. I do believe there is no other dual sport on the market that is better than this bike to begin on. Yes, you will, if you want to find something to commute on the highway, or you want to do have a bike that's more of an all-rounder to ride daily, you probably will have to upgrade. But if you're looking to find something that you can get on and safely ride and safely learn your technique and not twist the throttle and end up into a tree, or twist the throttle and end up into oncoming traffic, this is the bike. You can get your feet down on the ground. And it's very simple. It holds like a quart of oil, so you're not going to spend much money on maintenance. The valve check intervals are pretty long. We've only had to adjust one time. The exhaust valve was pretty tight at one point, but I handled that, you know. I personally have upped the jetting a bit. The intake has the snorkel out. The exhaust is stock. It runs very well. It does everything I need it to do. Yeah, 2-year review. Bike is awesome. Bike is great. Great bike to have in the stable. I haven't done too much to it, so I'll just go over a few things that I've done. I've already kind of made some videos about this. But if you haven't seen any of my other videos, I have upgraded the front fender to the Acerbi Supermoto front fender. I went with the Ricochet skid plate, which I think might be one of the best skid plates that they offer for this bike, aside from the B&B, which is pretty expensive, but 2 good skid plates. I upgraded the foot peg system, cheap Amazon foot pegs, a lot wider. Of course, this bike comes with very small foot pegs. You're gonna have to know that. You're probably gonna have to change them if you plan on doing anything else than on-road riding. All right, so I upped the jetting. That's the only thing done to the carburetor. I had a tank bag on it, which is this, but I was so cheap, so I just used the tank bag for the tail bag. It's like the perfect size, works good. Alrighty then. So I put some Enduro Engineering handguards on it. I put some aftermarket mirrors because I broke the mirrors. You know, of course, that's one common thing you tend to do off-road. Once you drop this bike, once it lands on the mirror, it's broken. Stock mirrors are actually good though. Anyways, these mirrors are pretty cool. They move, they get out my way when I want to, you know, ride off-road. So hey, 20 bucks, Kimimoto, good to go. Got a phone holder. What else have I done to this bike? I tried out a temperature dipstick from XR's Only, but it ended up getting filled with oil, so it didn't work out too well. Can't speak for all of them, but that was just my situation. But it was pretty cool while it lasted. I got to at least monitor the operating temperatures for a good little while. Lighting is stock, motor is stock, shift lever is stock, everything up here is stock. 3,874 miles. Stock chain, stock sprockets, you know, pretty much a stock bike, other than the jetting a little bit. So yeah, a great running bike. But I will say, anything over, you know, any zones over 55 miles per hour, you will get left behind. It can be dangerous. If you're trying to keep up with that traffic, you'll be getting passed. The bike going anything over 55 miles per hour, in my opinion, is just, I'm sure the little Honda can take it, but you're revving this thing out for a long time. You're like, oh man. So there's times where I'd have to go, like today I rode home and I was on like a 1 mile stretch of highway that I really wanted to take to get to where I needed to go, because if I would have took the back roads, it was very busy and dangerous at this time of day. So I was wide open at like 66 on a flat, which this bike with me on it, I'm 5'10" and I weigh 165. On a flat, some days I can get up to like 67 miles per hour. On a downhill, 70 miles per hour. Never been over that. But anyways, where was I going with that? Yeah, I feel comfortable riding this bike. I can be 3/4 throttle, 55 miles per hour on a flat, on a lightly windy day. But most any day I can ride 50 miles per hour comfortably, not revving it out, cruising, feeling good, and I'm happy with it. That's why I like to ride it on back roads that are curvy and carvy and up and down. And this thing would make a really fun supermoto, which some people have done, so that's pretty awesome. But I just love it on the trails. I love riding some trails like this. You know, I just find random little paths. This stretch here goes for about a mile, and it's just kind of like this. It's on my way home from work, so I kind of hit all the little trails on the way home from work. I've kind of sought them all out. Got a few spots I like to ride, some forestry roads, and this bike shines. Honestly, it's so much lighter than my DR, and it's so nimble that it's just really good for that. You don't feel so intimidated by a heavy bike that could fall on you and break your leg, or the weight of the bike coming down, like when you put your foot, you know, to the ground as you're trying to catch the bike. That weight doesn't make you twist something. This bike is so light, and if you go to drop it, I literally just drop it. Like, if I'm going down, it's going down. I'm not trying to save it. My DR, I'm more prone to save it. It costs more, you know. But anyways, point is, love the bike. 2-year review. I will have to say, like many other people, that it is a go. It is probably, in my opinion, the best beginner dual sport out there. You will outgrow it in the sense that if you are looking for something that will do highway speeds and your skill level grows, you'll want to get something else. But it's not a bike that you will outgrow, in the sense that it has an intended purpose and it will always serve that purpose. There you know, are days that you're going to want to ride a bike like this, like today for me. So, you know, the stock lighting is actually really good. I think it's good. I think the brakes on this bike are pretty awesome. The fact that it's a rear drum and it works as good as it does is pretty awesome. Honda's reliability definitely comes into play. The front brake works great. You know, of course, when I make my videos, it's just off the top of my head. I did not plan to make this video today or in this spot, but I just said, you know what, let's go ahead and do it while I have some time. Oh, the stock seat, awesome. Stock seat is awesome. If you ride a passenger, they can sit up a little higher. The seat, if I was like, say, if I was 6 foot tall, the seat might be a little shorter than I would want. But it works great for me. The seat is cushy. You can get good gas mileage on this bike, so even though the tank's small, you get pretty far on it. Air cooled, real simple. Don't seem to be any issues with the frame. I haven't read up on any specific issues with this bike other than that, and I haven't had this issue, and I'm gonna change this soon. But this right here, the way that it goes at an angle right there, a 90-degree angle, they say that somehow causes some oil consumption. I haven't changed it. I've been meaning to. $15, gonna do it soon. But you know, keep an eye on that. Of course, I always check my oil level before every ride. I check my chain and I check my tires. It's just good practice. Check your spark plug. That can tell a story, so you know, be checking that and see what that's looking like. Yeah, so I'm thinking about going with, you know, well, I'm thinking I'm going to go with some aftermarket tires here soon. The stock ones have made it pretty much to the rear, almost 4,000, but it's definitely time because the tread's low. The front's lasting longer than that. The bars, I've dropped the bike multiple times. The bars have held up. I don't like the bend on them the best, but they'll do. I do like that it has the shrouds. My DR doesn't have shrouds, which is kind of strange. I didn't really look into why not, but anyways, I like that it comes with a rack from the factory. It's good to go. This bike, you really, to be quite honest, this bike, a lot of bikes come really corked up and lean. This bike, you really, from the factory, if you just kind of tweak the air screw a little bit to get it where you're good for where you're at, I mean, you're good to go. Like, you really don't have to do anything to this bike. Oh, the one other thing that I would say that I would suggest, if you're any taller than like 5'9", 5'10", definitely 5'11", is bar risers. I put bar risers in. That helped me tremendously off-road. They're only 7/8. I'd like to go a little more, but I'll end up doing that later. So definitely that. I'd throw some hand guards on it, you know. But realistically, it's really just good to go. Oh, the foot pegs. Like I said, the foot pegs are so small, it's dangerous off-road. You need something that's gonna hold you a little bit better. My batteries, I haven't rode as much as I've wanted to lately, so my battery is a little bit weak. Like today, I had to bump start it to get it going. I rode it to work. When I got back to leave, I cranked it right up. Hopefully it cranks up right before I finish this video, which we're gonna see. But yeah, thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. If I could give it 3 thumbs up, I would. And if you guys have any questions about this bike that I forgot to go over, just let me know. The only things I plan to do to it here soon is, and yeah, of course, if you get it and you're planning to do off-road, go ahead and get you skid plates. So hand guards, skid plate, foot pegs, 7/8 risers, and you'll be set for off-road. If you're planning just to ride it on the street, how it is stock, it's good to go. I just changed the stock fender because of aesthetic reasons, and I think it just looks better and gets a little better airflow, but less protection. So you gotta pick what you want. So either the Shinko 241s, the Shinko 244s. I've even thought about doing a test D-Sport on the rear, but I think I will try all these different combinations. But I do think that I'm going to go with the Shinko 244s, at least get a Shinko 244 for the rear because I still got life on the front. So we'll probably go with that. Yeah, I've just been trying some different oils in it. Let's see if there's anything else. I don't want to forget because I usually forget things, and then later I'm like, wish I would have said that. Wish I would have mentioned that. Let's see. The front suspension really doesn't dive too bad. Or the shocks, you know, they don't seem to dive too bad. It performs pretty well off-road. It's just fun. It's just nimble. I mean, you can hop like little logs. Like, it's better. Like, I wish the Cherokees made a skid plate for this like they do for the DR that's like thicker, because you can hop little logs better. Obviously, I'm not hopping like any logs with the skid plate because that's too big for this bike, but like little logs, like, you know, just small stuff. It would be cool to hit like a little course on this bike where they just have like some little, you know, logs set up to just kind of go over. So like little technical stuff like that, I think this bike really shines. I haven't got to do as much as I would like, but yeah, they're starting to make a lot of aftermarket stuff for this. Scooter Swap Shop and, you know, Zittimer, that Chinese brand, they seem to make a pretty good middle ground budget parts for different motorcycles. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I probably forgot some stuff, but overall, if you're looking to buy this bike and you're hesitant, I would say go for it. You can't beat it. You can get it. When I got it, it was like $3,400 out the door. Now prices went up a little bit. I'd say about $3,600 out the door. You could probably even learn on it, ride it, buy it, sell it a year later for you know, less, but you know, but I would just keep it. What else? All right, let's see if it'll fire up and get me home. Hear that power? That's that power though. shadow's killing the vibe. Idling nice and steady. Listen to the bird. Well, I hope that y'all have enjoyed the video, and I appreciate y'all subscribing. And y'all give me a shout out and let me know how y'all are liking the Honda, and let's just talk about it. All right, let's talk about it. And God bless you all. My phone on my battery on my phone's dying, 10%. But we're gonna make it. All right, y'all. Somebody told me that they did LED lighting on the Honda XR150L for 2025. I did notice that they changed the front forks black down here and the swing arm black, and they have a gray one. That's pretty cool. It's always nice to see the new rollout and the new graphics and all that good stuff if you're an enthusiast like me. But anyways, take care, y'all. See y'all in the next one. Peace.